I'll tell you a story about this furniture, right? So we're running around everywhere setting up the concept room, spending money like it's going out of fashion, and like we just need 2 chairs. Like we can't just find 2 chairs from anywhere. So we were in IKEA, and there was one chair like this, and it was like 450 quid. And I was like, I'm not paying 450 quid for a chair. So when we got to the end of IKEA, like as you pay, they do it in like a maze, don't they?
Yeah.
They have this thing, and it's like refurbished, like resale stuff. It's just all like random stuff that you can sell back to IKEA, and you just like resell it. So we got that couch for like 250 quid. So one chair like this was like new, it was like 450. That was 250. So when we have like double guests on and stuff, we use that one. And then so later in the day, we were like, we just need single chairs. So we went to SCS around the corner, and walked in there, and I was like, look, I'm just looking for a single chair. I don't want a big like 3-piece suite or anything. I just need. Funny enough, we've got 2 chairs that are just ready to go. And I was like, how much are they? And he was like, they're like 350 quid each. And I was like, no, my budget's like 400 quid. She was like, let's see what I can do. So she just went in the back and just gave us them a like trade. And I was like, yes. So we got these 2 for like 450 quid.
Must have needed rid of them.
Oh, mate, yeah. So second take, mate. For whatever reason. I think we started the last one with, it is fair to say, innit, that you are one of the most well-known car salesmen. Maybe not just in Liverpool, but maybe the whole of England. Is that like an intentional thing, or did you just kind of stumble into that?
I think wanting the business to be known as the best was definitely an intention. But not necessarily me. Like, I didn't intend on me fitting into that plan. It was just the business, but it just so happens to be there. A while ago, to be honest, it's a fella I work with, Phil. He's called me Mind PT. He was explaining to me, well, we were talking about, I get like celebrities in to do videos all the time and whatever else, and they promote the brand because they knew it was a good brand anyway. And I was like, I had to work on their time scales. It was always awkward. And I was like, right, I need someone passionate about the brand, that's available when I need them to be available, that's not scared to go in front of the camera. And I was like, okay, that's me. Just throw me in front of the camera. Because no one can sell your own business like yourself.
Exactly.
So that's how that kind of come about. And it just so happens just to work.
Well, when you mix that with the social proof of like, you know, you're building the brand yourself, you becoming a big personal brand, and you've got other well-known people selling your brand, it's a marriage made in heaven, innit? Now, more than likely, everyone in my audience will probably know who you are.
Yeah.
Humble as you are. But if they don't, sort of, who are you, what do you do? Give people a bit of context on what we're talking about.
So I'm Jay. I'm one of the directors at Solo Car Sales. We basically pride ourselves on selling what we call boss cars for less money. Most of our cars are sold on finance. We're one of the best car dealers in the country, top 1%. And yeah, we just we look after the people in Liverpool surrounding areas. Anything car related. Sometimes I'm not even bothered whether we're selling you the car. It's just the advice and the guidance, and we just want to be the go-to place for anything to do with cars.
Got the awards to prove it now.
Yeah, the social proof of awards. We don't need awards. The awards are good. They're a good milestone and recognition, but we don't need the awards. We know what we do, and it doesn't matter whether, like I was saying, Auto Trader recently put us in their top 1% out of 14,500 car dealers in the country. And that sounds great on paper, and it really does. It's a headline thing, but I'm not bothered where we sit. I know we go into work every day and lead with our heart. That's the most we can do, and it just so happens to be that puts us in the top 1%.
I love that, leading with your heart. Is that something you consciously think about every day?
More recently, yeah, in more recent months and last few years, yeah. And that's the thing about being the face behind the business and putting your brand out there online. You can't hide. It forces accountability. So like you can't be a bad person. You can't, be a Arthur Daly old school car salesman. Yeah. That doesn't work. You just get outed. And I think we're not perfect. Definitely not perfect. Lots of issues at times and mistakes and cars that we shouldn't have bought. But we deal with them exactly how they're meant to be dealt with, and we make sure everyone knows that, and we're transparent with that.
100%, mate. 100%. I think that about the concept room. It's like, I always think about like getting awards and getting recognition for your work, and it sounds amazing. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't want it, because who doesn't want to be recognised for the work? My leading thought always is, are we doing the best possible work we can? What I mean by that is, every client who comes to us for content, everyone who comes and records podcasting, everything we're doing, is it the best we possibly can do? Now, again, same, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. Sometimes mistakes happen. Now, if you look at the work that we were doing a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago to now, is the quality of work. And I love this concept of, we talked about Stephen Bartlett a bit. He's obsessed with 1%, and that's what we are. Like, how can we eke out every 1% from every video, every piece of content, every social media post that we do? How can we just eke out every 1%? And it shows, right? It shows in stuff like that, where if you didn't do all that stuff, you might not get the award anyway. You know what I mean? So, just from like a personal recognition point of view, like on your own personal journey, how satisfying is it to actually just like be recognised for that though?
It's good, but as always, I can never shake the feeling of knowing that I know there's more. Like planning for 2026, I've never really fully wrote a month by month plan of, whether that be social media content, sales, personal life, all my ambitions. I've wrote that out, and that's exciting. I'm like, I know, like we've got Christmas coming up and whatever else. I'm just like, listen, I'm ready to go for January. I've got my shoes on, ready to run out the door. I just know there's always lots more there, and it's nice to, I've just signed a 12-month PR deal with the likes of Propel, Georgia and Jade, absolutely amazing people. Work really closely with them recently, and then all the content stuff that recently the content I've put out there has been it's been next level stuff. Nice to get messages of recognition for that from key people across the city. And it kind of that's like Liverpool for you. It inspires its own, and can't wait to give you a pat on the back, and everyone just wants everyone to win.
I love it, mate. I love it. Can you divulge any of them goals for next year? I
think just there's a lot more leverage in the social, the Instagram, the TikTok world and all that. There's a lot more I know I can do there. Because like if we said 12 months ago, I probably had some more ideas of putting some more content out there. And some's just normal content that everyone will just support anyway. Some's really good content. I've seen now, like I kind of get a feel for what the difference is in each. And a lot of it's just taking a little bit more time editing your videos, a little bit more time running with the concept of what you want to do. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to do this today. That stuff, I don't think that works. I'm not personally a fan of posting 3 times a day. I would rather post higher quality content that I've thought about, because I don't want to spam everyone's Instagram.
I love it. Yeah, I say this. First thing I say to clients is, you can post every day if you want, but sporadically posting and just throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks works to a point. But then it doesn't. And after it doesn't, you need a strategy and you need better content. And what's in Instagram and TikTok are full of now is just noisy content, which is just filling up feeds for the sake of just being present. I need the numbers to go up. I need my analytics to look better every day and day. But actually, like you say, if you make better content, it finds a home.
Yeah.
And it'll be reflected in views and recognition and all that good stuff anyway. So for anyone listening, make better content and post it.
But I think that's where, like, in the last few months, it was September. We've always ran sponsored adverts on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. The budget was like $3,000 a month we were spending on that content, and you'll know because if you've been on our website, you've then probably been hit with a ton of Peak Price adverts all over our social media, like constantly. And that's good because I know how to double down on it, but it can get a bit annoying.
Yeah.
So I thought what I need to do is force myself to level up. I cancelled all of the sponsored adverts at the start of September, and I thought, no, let's get better content instead. Yeah. So the little Instagram dashboard where it says X amount of people have viewed your profile in the last 30 days, it used to always say 500,000 people regularly, 500,000, 600,000. It always like fluctuates somewhere there. And then since I've cancelled it, I think the lowest it's been is 1 million and the highest it's been is 3.5 million by just posting better content. And what have I got to do? I don't know, do some other reviews in places across the city, better car content, work more closely with people collaborating on posts, just being more open to that world. And again, what I'm doing there is just taking in loads of information. And when I look at our best performing videos, people could name what our best performing videos are, but I know the format and the structure behind them. And I take that on to the next one. And that's what I'm saying. All my ideas for next year, they're going to use the same formats and structures. And I know that at this moment in time, they are performing well. And I'll keep reviewing them, keep reflecting, and just keep trying to win.
I think it's like a massive arbitrage opportunity, you know? Like, because if you think about it, it's like, I mean, we're kind of in the middle age group, right? Like, the older age group seems to be on to like Facebook, and then the younger age group seems to be on to like TikTok, and we're kind of in that like middle ground a little bit, where in a bit of both. But essentially, Facebook and Meta generally, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, is a massive arbitrage opportunity, because if you think about it, Facebook have over 1 billion monthly active users, which is mad. Crazy numbers. But if you ask content creators, and I've done this, they don't view Facebook as their home. They view Instagram as their home, or YouTube as their home, or TikTok as their home.
Yeah.
So you'd be a TikToker, or you'd be a YouTuber, or even someone who's big on Instagram. But they don't really view Facebook. But that creates a massive opportunity because there's so much usage there. And like you say, if you make better content, fucking hell, mate, like them numbers are insane, really.
Yeah, I think just, again, like spending that little bit of time. So if you make a good piece of content, my advice would be don't post it straight away. Come back to it in a day and just look at it with your fresh eyes. And like, you know, we're all at different stages on our journey and whatever else, but I don't like seeing posts on Facebook, videos on Facebook that have got like TikTok watermarks on, because I know the platform doesn't like it. I had an example on TikTok. You know, we're editing and posting this stuff all day, every day. And I posted a video that I knew was a good video on TikTok, and it had something like 5,000 views. And I'm like, that's not really a lot of views. So I'm watching it myself, and I realised I'd left the CapCut watermark on at the end. I hadn't edited it off. And I was like, oh, but 5,000, do I really want to delete it and post again? Deleted it, posted it again straight away. And within an hour, it had 15,000. And it's like, it's literally, firstly, I should have reviewed it better when I was posting it. But secondly, you've got to realise that stuff makes a massive difference.
Yeah. I think about getting someone in to the business and just taking them on, and literally their job will be to scour all the social media platforms, check quality, check any errors, check, you know, viewership, what's working, what's not, and their whole job will literally just be to be like almost like just like a social media scourer, basically. You just scour socials. But
I think that's, again, you can, you know, me and you've spoke a lot about how AI can be a great tool, I'm going to call it. It's one of many tools. But if you created a spreadsheet and just said, this is the content, this is how long it was, this was the nature, this was the view time, this was the 3-second watch, and put it all into a spreadsheet and just put that into ChatGPT and said, which ones, what are you if you just asked it, what are you noticing? And it will give you a lot of clues. But again, there's lots of different types of content, isn't there? Like, I know if we post a video to our story first thing in the morning, we might get 2,000 watches on our story. If I post a photo first thing in the morning, it could get 6,000 views. Yeah. I know that photo carousel posts don't generally work well on our Instagram platform. I know that TikTok, and these are all clues, by the way, should be writing these down. Instagram and TikTok, it knows what you've posted. If you post the same on both platforms, one of them won't do well, or certainly one will massively outperform the other. And it knows. So I've physically watched where I've uploaded to TikTok first. When I've uploaded the same video to Instagram, it throttles the views straight away until like the social proof comes back in and forces it back in. It absolutely knows what you're doing. You need to realise that. And if anyone wants a conversation about that or wants to message me and ask me something, go for it. I'll share all the tips I've got.
100%. I mean, even to the point of like writing captions. So, you know, LinkedIn's really bad for this at the moment. Like probably 80% of LinkedIn is clearly ChatGPT. And the telltale sign for it is they use like a big descriptive word at the start. So it'll be like discover the world of solo cars, or explore the new used car sales space, or like something like that. big adjective, and you can just tell straight away with like the emojis and stuff and the marks and all that.
Yeah, the what's it called, the double dash thing, or whatever.
I think it's like an
it's
M dash
obvious,
or
yeah.
something like
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
So, but like the algorithm's picking that up now, and with Nano Banana, the Google AI that's come out now, which is insanely good, by the way. It's just picking it up straight away. Just picks it up. So any like blogs that are sitting on websites and stuff that are AI generated, it'll tell. Especially if it's not like the native like Google stuff.
So I remember being, I don't know if it was like sixth form or whatever in business, and there'd be like a question for like your little essay or whatever, I can't remember, like coursework stuff. And I remember saying to the teacher, there's an answer to that online. Like that question's been asked before. This was before AI. And I was like, but what stops me just like taking that answer, putting it into my own words and submitting that, and I'll get 100% surely. And they were like, you will, yeah. But you've got to then dissect the information. It's going in and you write it down. And I was like, okay, that's kind of the way I'll do things. But it's the same with AI. Use it. It's a tool. Don't rely on it though. Yeah. Just rewrite it yourself. If it gives you some structure and whatever, it's fine. And you know, one of the things I hate about ChatGPT is that it wants to correct everything. And it'll be like, right, I'm going to sharpen this up for you. And I'm like, I don't want you to sharpen it up for me. I want to say it as I'm going to say it and know how it'll be received. You don't need to add all your bits of professional grammar in, because I'm professional.
Yeah.
I'm not as professional as like, you know, I don't speak perfect English and whatnot. So
that's
I'm happy.
Like the humanization of it, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I want to be human still. I want to.
But do we, like, from an outside perspective, one of the reasons I think you've been quite successful in building a personal brand and a business brand is because you are very personal. And one thing I took from all the meetings we've had before is you're a very good communicator. And ChatGPT can't do that for you.
No, I'm pretty sure being likable will get you more sales than any degree or anything. Just being likable and being honest and
like,
trustworthy.
Put it this way, right? Like, when next time my car's up for renewal, like, because we've got a good relationship now, I know I'll just probably come to you, so something else. And even if you can't necessarily help me at the time, I know you'll put me in the right direction, so that'll be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, again,
just a trust thing, isn't it?
Fully happy to give advice and guidance to anyone. And it might be that you buy a car off us in 10 years. Yeah. It might be that your cousin's looking for one in 3 years and you just send them our way. It doesn't really matter. Just give all the advice out. I'm not a closed book. You can know all the answers. 100%. There's nothing to hide.
100%. You know, like same thing. Like for anyone watching this, both of us very approachable. Shoot us a DM anytime. One thing I'm quite fascinated about, and I think one thing I took from speaking to you is I love the psychology behind high achieving people. Don't know what it is. And you mentioned to me about the 7 habits of highly effective people and sharpening the saw. Talk to me a little bit about how you've done that and how you put yourself in positions that sharpen the saw a little bit.
Yeah, so I think sharpening the saw, the book, seven habits of highly effective people. That's it.
I'll cut that into the podcast afterwards.
And the last one says about sharpening the saw, and that's basically just constantly learning, growing, making yourself feel that little bit uncomfortable just to make sure you stay on the sharp end. And I think there's lots of different ways to do that. I've done that. You know, people that do know me know I've done it in lots of different ways, from running marathons and swimming with sharks, wing walking. You know, I've sat on the top of a plane, outside of the plane, at however many foot in the air, while it does bloody spins in the air and whatever else. Mad. Insane. That's me sharpening the axe.
What's that actually like?
Terrifying. So they said you can do 8 minutes, is what we'll do. And at like 6 minutes, I was like, okay, if I go down now, no one's going to slate me for that. So I was like, yeah, let's go down at 6 minutes. Don't need the other 2, don't need the risk. But like, even like this morning, you know, getting me, 2-minute cold shower, it's just them little refinements to know I can do hard things and knowing I can push myself and do the uncomfortable stuff that, no one really likes doing uncomfortable things. And a friend said to me not long ago, they're called uncomfortable conversations for a reason, because they're uncomfortable and you've just got to be comfortable at leaning into them.
100%, mate. I love all that. Was that something that was like ingrained in you from like your early days of starting out in your career, basically?
No, not necessarily. I think that was more of the last like 10 years or whatnot. Certainly the last 5 years. I think I just lean more into it. I think COVID, you know, I don't like to talk too positively about COVID because a lot of people lost family members and jobs and all sorts that went wrong for them. But COVID was very lucky to me in that, you know, the business performed very well in COVID years. We become something that, you know, I probably thought it would take us 20 years to become.
Yeah.
And it taught me the biggest lesson I learned is that absolutely nobody's got a clue. Nobody. Even at the time, the prime ministers and the top government medical advisors and everything and whatever, no one had a clue. And I was like, okay, this world is there for the taking because no one knows nothing. We're all faking it. We'll all, I had a quote that I put online the other day that said, we're all swimming naked because we are.
I love it.
And when the tide goes out, you'll see you swimming naked. And the tide went out in COVID times and you realised no one's got a clue.
Yeah. Everyone's just overgrown kids, mate.
Yeah. That's why, like, you know, we were, during the COVID times, we were one of the top car buyers in the whole country. And I was like, how's that happened? That's ridiculous. How my little kid grew up in Old Swan, the top buyer of cars in the whole country. This is not right. And I was like, this is almost too easy at the time. And like, I don't know, like you just, when you embrace it, there's a little bit of imposter syndrome that kicks in, or gold medal syndrome is the worst one. I don't know if you know what that is, where it's coined from like athletes in the Olympics. They train for 4 years, go and win the gold medal. And then they're like, they get home and they're like, I'm lost.
It's so funny, you know. I talked to Nick Durbin on the podcast last week about this exact thing. I actually called it Olympian syndrome, but it's gold medal syndrome. It's like you got this structure for like 4 years straight to do this one thing, and all the focus and all their energy goes into this one thing, say the 100 meters, and then you go and win the gold medal, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Boom. And then the next day they're back home, and they're like, what do I do now? And they've got no sense of purpose and meaning. And what I gleaned from that lesson was always everybody wants the view, but they don't want the climb. But the purpose and the meaning of it is in the climb.
Yeah.
So look, climbing up base camp like you've done this year, I'm making an assumption here, but I'm gathering that it's probably the achievement was in the climb, not when you got to the peak of the mountain.
So going to Everest Base Camp was a challenge in itself, right? And it wasn't so challenging physically. I could do the physical part, and we all got a lot less injuries than I thought. I thought we'd all have like sore calves or thighs or whatever. We're all reasonably fit, active people, not super athletes or anything. But the worst bit for me was when I got to base camp, took the photo, posted it online, all the comments, all the likes, everyone, you know, I'm so proud of you and all these different things. And then I was like, what now? I've got to do another 40 miles to trek back. I don't want to be here. I've the gold medal bit, I've done what I needed to do. Yeah. I've come for that bit, and I didn't weigh up what it's like when you actually get there. And I think that's so like in the COVID years, I've always wrote down like goals since I think it was my late 20s. I wrote down some goals. They were retirement goals. I'm going to retire when I get to this point, and this is what it's going to look like. And it was a pretty decent, solid plan. But then I got to 2-3 years into the COVID years, and I was like, oh my God, I've just hit all my retirement goals. I've near enough all of them. And I was like, that's not good. That sends your head west. And it did for a while. It sent me a little bit west, and I was a bit panicky, and I was like, okay, but then you'd have to reassess again and go again fresh. What's the next set of goals? Where could I go with this? You know, I got to this level. Where can I go next with this level? And, you know, again, I learned a lot there about we're all capable of really big things if we realise that everyone's swimming naked. And I've carried that confidence through. And I think, you know, my little lad was just getting older and older, and you become a dad. And that is a journey in itself. That is a struggle, but then it's so rewarding. And that probably got me through a lot of the negative side of hitting my goals, where, you know, even, I don't know, singing Christmas songs with my little lad in the car this morning, a full belt. That's free, that. Well, you know, you need a Spotify membership, but other than that, that is free, and that is the most fun you can have. And it's important to remember that, I suppose I probably tied a lot of my fun or meaning to the money and certain goals and that side, and then only when I hit them things did I really realised there's a lot more to life, and I'm enjoying life more now. Probably I'm living through experiences and connections and conversations, and I know I'm so grateful with my life. I walk around so grateful for it, because I'd be seen as really ungrateful if I complained about my life.
Oh, mate, tell me about it. Like the art of practicing gratitude. I mean, I've really had to practicing it, because there's been times where I've like spat me dummy out and things haven't been going well. We talked about this. I mean, I was made redundant twice by 23, and I kind of quickly realised in my career, definitely. And I can't complain about my childhood or anything. Like, childhood was great. My mum and dad were great. Like, done a lot for us. You know, we're always there, still there now. Like, we still got a great relationship now. But career-wise, it was always tricky, because you're put in this like 9-to-5 job, like corporate job in architecture, that's like seen as like this amazing thing by your parents. You don't really like it, and I wasn't putting it by my parents. I'd done it out of choice, but I just didn't like it. But it's seen by your parents as like this like really like white collar job. It's like, you know, really honourable job to do. And I got made redundant, and I quickly realised that no boss like was ever going to save me. You know what I mean? The 9-to-5 just didn't work for what I wanted to do. So when I went and done other stuff, there's so much like sort of learning you've got to do and practicing you've got to do. And if you look at my life now at 39, as opposed to 21, 22, it's completely night and day. And if you'd have told me that I'd achieved half the stuff I've achieved, having 2 kids, building a really good business, having a good missus, all that kind of stuff, like, I'm so grateful for it now. But there's been times when I'm just like, fuck.
You know, at them times though, and don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of making sure you're in the right place. And, you know, you say that no boss was going to save you. That's because you definitely didn't work for me. I carry a big heart for everyone that works at my place. But it's also important to stay where you're at. When you find something that's, you know,
I love that
where you want to be.
I love that term, leading with heart. I love that.
Well, I think, yeah, you know, it's like, I want everyone that works for me to win. I want them all to win. And I can only tell them that, and even past employees, I can only tell them that and set standards to a certain point. Yeah. I can't stop them getting bored. Like, that's some work they've got to do themselves. It can be boring. People give up really easy. I've been doing what I've been doing. Now people go, oh, you're doing so well recently, Jay. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 17 years. Thanks. I got a pat on the back finally. But, you know, when I was younger, in my early 20s, I sacrificed a lot of friends' birthdays, christenings, communions, weddings of family members I didn't attend because I had to be in work. I took it serious, and, you know, there's days where I do 12-hour days and where I went weeks and weeks and weeks without a day off. I've done it. I've earned my stripes, and 100%. That's the knowledge. I earned the knowledge that I'm now using with the bit of knowledge, bit of wisdom, and it's blended together, and this is the outcome.
I mean, even now, like after all this time, and you get to a level where you think, oh, I never thought to be at this level. And then you get to the level and you think, I mean, since we've upgraded the content, we've spent a load of money on it, and it's going to get even better next year. And I'm going to do even bigger and better stuff next year content-wise. And the plans we've got, like, it even blow my mind. And I'm like, even now, there's that, I don't believe in imposter syndrome, because I don't actually think it's a syndrome. Dave Verbeek taught me this. Imposter syndrome is just a skill gap. It's basically, I'm not sure what to do, or you might be in a situation, not sure how to play this, or it might be, I need to learn something new. And the lesson I always think about is, I take my little lad Harry to football, and he's 4, and it's like bees around a honey pot. None of them know what they're doing. They don't stand in the right positions. They don't know what defence is and attack is. They just try to run after the ball, kick it in the net. But they love it, and they're not judging themselves for it. And they're going to learn, and eventually they'll be able to play football properly. But along that way, they just enjoy the process. They have so much fun doing it. And when you get to being an adult, it's almost like, oh, I'm going to look stupid because I don't know this thing. But actually, I think back to when I started video editing. I was video editing. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I just enjoyed video editing and enjoyed the process of learning it. And it's led 6 years later to owning a content studio and working with businesses and all this kind of stuff. So it's just that skill gap I had to plug, or that communication thing I had to learn, or what. So not saying all the time, but most of the time, what people consider imposter syndrome is just something that a bridge you've got a gap, like a bridge you've got a gap or whatever, bridge the gap.
Bridge to fill it, yeah. Bridge to fill it.
So yeah, that's interesting to me. One thing I'm interested in is, we're both Everton fans. I've seen you doing some content at Everton. I've seen you doing some content with some footballers and stuff down at Finch Farm. I think I can say this: you bought Bukayo Saka's car.
Yes.
How did you get into? Because that's like a really cool little niche, right? Footballers' cars.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
Well, I think there's two sides of it, like there is with people. So there's different types of people. So let's just say, like, some people like to be on the camera, and some people don't. So the stuff you see on the socials, or the stuff I've told people, is only the people who want to be on that's the camera side of it. There's a lot that don't, and there's a lot of conversation. You know, Love Island Stars messaging me this morning about cars, because well, as he said, your name seems to be on everyone's lips in Liverpool. It's like that's amazing that a Love Island star, Love Island superstar said that. I think just getting into that stuff again, like I said, the COVID stuff, it armed me up with realising no one's got a clue with what's going on. So I seen some supercars bought and sold online, and I'm looking and I'm like, someone's earning a fortune here. And it took a while to keep convincing myself, like, I'm pretty sure someone is. Asked a few people in the trade, what's going on here? Am I right thinking this? Sanity check myself. And like, yep, I'm quite happy here that someone's earning money. So 130 odd £1,000 G-Wagon appears online, and I'm like, I'm going to buy it. Done the maths, I'm going to buy it. And, don't know, maybe I've never spoke about the numbers, but that's me. We bought it. Couple of weeks down the line, we sold it. Amazing. Earned a lot of money, the most money we've ever earned on a car. And that's just by, I hope I'm all right saying this on the podcast, that's by me. Everyone sees the polite, happy, friendly me that they meet day to day, but what they don't realise is Jay goes home and Jay's got a massive set of balls that he gets out every now and then when he thinks it's right to get out, because I know no one else has got a clue, and I'll just learn. Worst case scenario, I will just learn.
This is from like pure curiosity, and I don't actually know the answer to this, so I'm genuinely curious. Is it a bit like a lottery when you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's not all great. So like that car, that G-Wagon that we bought, my little lad's got a scar on the back of his calf because getting out the car, the exhaust on the side, and he burns. And the arguments we had, I've told you, watch the exhaust, and I'm like, that's not fun. It's not all fun. We had those who know me know I had the Bentley last year. That was 95 grand. Well, we paid 95 and we sold it for 92. You can do the maths on that. It's not as fun as you think. There's a bit of a gamble there. But I'm living, I'm learning.
And it's not a small amount of money either, really. It's not chump change.
No, it's crazy, and that's like. But again, back to the COVID years, there was a time. It was in 2020, the December. So after like the initial lockdowns and whatever else, I was in Dubai, and I realised that a lot of the car sales were moving online. So they would put them on like a little buy it now, but they put them on a buy it now at 6 o'clock on a Friday. And I'm like, I know all the main dealer groups, the car buyers don't work at them hours. So they're not on the computer looking. And there was one time I was sat in the kitchen and bought a load of cars. There's one time I was away in Dubai, and I said to my mate, I know we're out at a brunch all day, but I've got to get back for, it was like 10 o'clock Dubai time. And we went back to the room for an hour. I've spent 300 grand on cars, and we went back out again. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just living. I'm just, moving the next piece on the chessboard, going forward. I'm just going with what's in front of me.
And that'll keep growing as well. That'll keep growing. I had Susan from So Socially on. She runs. She does Facebook ads, but only for event organisers. So she works with like festivals, event goers, events organisers, and she sells tickets to events on Facebook. And she was saying exactly what you were saying. It's like there's no point in running ads until your organic's proper, and the paid ads should be like the cherry on top to that cake. And it's the same sort of concept. It's like with Facebook ads, and this is coming from her, you put 500 quid in, you get 3 grand back, and then okay, I've got 3 grand now. Right, I'm gonna put 1,000 in, I might get 5 grand back. And you're constantly just playing the lottery with these numbers. And it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And then you see people who are spending 60, 70, 80 grand a month on Facebook ads because, and the common denominator that I've found with all these people interviewing them and surveying them is they all started with like a £20 ad budget and he's scaled it up.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with cars, I suppose. It'd be like, you might get the 500 grand car at some point. I don't know, like.
Okay, so I'm going to flip a narrative there, right? From you talking about small Facebook ads, return on investment, and growing to bigger Facebook ads and return on investment. What if that investment wasn't money spent on a Facebook ad? What if that was just being a good place, a good person, a good business?
Yeah.
And okay, so I look after someone, they go and tell 6 people.
Yeah.
I look after someone else, they go and tell 6 people. What about just being good instead? And I'm lucky that those maths work and I can just be a nice person and try and look after everyone. And don't get me wrong, we work in retail. Sometimes there's an element of unreasonable expectation in retail and we have to work with that sometimes too. But I know at least when we go to bed at night, we know we've done the right thing, even if everyone's not always happy with that. You know, we sell a lot of cars. We're talking anywhere from 700 to 1,000 cars a year. So a lot of customers. We're seeing a lot of people. Not everyone gets approved on finance. That's a big hurdle for people. But we just try and look after people. And again, we just hope then we get the return on investment. And yeah, that's kind of the narrative we've been leading towards.
How do you, I agree. How is that quantifiable? I mean, over a 20-year time horizon of doing it, you've obviously seen the return on that because you've been a good person the whole time. Even in tricky times, like you said, or even in more challenging times, you've been a good person and you've done right. And it's showing now. And we work with businesses now, and they're like, what they want to see, like all they're interested in really is ROI, what am I going to get back off it? And it's like, it's hard to quantify in it. It's hard to quantify, just be good. Be really, really good.
Yeah, I think, again, just lucky that being good, looking after people and doing what we do, there's enough money for everything. That is just, we're just lucky with that. I'm in a good industry where, you know, I know some of our rivals have got like, you know, some of the bigger car supermarkets in Liverpool. I'm not even going to name the assets they've got, but I'm talking now absolutely multi-million-pound assets, and I don't want that stuff. I want to go out for a beer with my mates and make sure that, you know, we turn up at like Thursday night at a social event. Yeah. I've sold cars to 20 of the people there. I know every single person and I want to talk to everyone. I want to have 70 conversations because it's just good network, good people, good community. And, you know, we should probably talk a little bit about the communities because to anyone, like you said, on a journey where, you know, you doubt yourself or you have your bad times and whatever, it's nice having a community next to you that either you can just listen to their problems for a little bit and realise how similar they are to yours, or you can give your problems and some people will have at least some alternative ways of thinking, or just some general bits of support when you're going through hard things. The communities are definitely, in Liverpool, the community scene is, I can't believe there's not 500 people turning up at these walks and events and things.
I think that's where you get like the 1%, you know, like over the course of time that I've done the concept room. I know for a fact I would not be in this position with the plans we've got for next year and all the good stuff we've got going on. I just would, I just wouldn't be in a position of would without the mentors and the community there. It just wouldn't happen. Like we talk about 1%. I mean, I worked really closely with Mark Waldron to build the first concept room, and then we came here. And I wouldn't be where I am without him, and the community he's got, and like people in that community that I can fall back on. Like I'm able to just go into that WhatsApp group, get a number, ring them up, and I know probably 90% of the people in there really well now.
Yeah, there's open arms as well. There's everyone's guard is down because it attracts good people.
100%, and like Mark says that, like he's done it that way, where like he's, you know, if you're an arsehole, just
on you go.
Yeah, there's no point. There's no point in being it. But I know for a fact I can go into that WhatsApp group now, and you know, I've got a relationship with 90% of the people in there, and the other 10%, I'll build a relationship with anyway.
Yeah, you just might not know. Yeah, like that's nice that there's lots of people within Move I've not met, not interacted with, and I don't know. Which is, you know, people will see me and Mark close at times and think, oh, Jay knows all that group, and I absolutely don't. There's loads I don't know.
At the social event last week, which we were at, I just literally made the point of just working the room, just going around, shaking everyone's hand, saying hello to everyone. with no expectation of anything in return. I wasn't trying to sell the content room. I wasn't trying to sell content. I wasn't trying to do a podcast with me. It was literally just shaking around and getting to know them.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said for that. But that's done on purpose, right? Like, it's not happened by accident.
Yeah, and well, to be honest, everyone's got a story of how they joined Move or what the scenario was. I went from, married, living together and whatnot, then split, and I lived on my own. And, my little lad's there half the week or whatever he's there for. It was a lot of emptiness. There's a lot of, just me staring at the four walls. For a guy that loves conversation and communication, I was like, I need something. It was the Sundays for me. Monday to Friday, I can do work overnight, no problems, only a couple of hours. Saturday the same, I work every other Saturday, the football's on and whatever. It was just the Sundays. My brain couldn't take the Sundays, and I was like, I need something. And like, it just come up on my Instagram about this walking group. And I was like, a walking group? Really? I'm not a walker. They don't sound like my people. I was a bit like skeptical. But then I seen The Spatula, and I was like, no, these are my people. There's comedy in there. Like, it's not all just this serious walking group. And it was The Spatula that done it for me. Mark's known for walking around and interviewing with that a fish splicer, as it technically is, I believe. But he's known for it. And that then, I just, I was filling my time on the Sunday mornings with the likes of yourself. Shout out to the likes of Chris Drew as well and people like that. They were just really big for me and just reframing my thoughts, give me lots of empathy, or show me lots of empathy, and just little support here, there, where it's needed, and help me on that journey, because, I was probably not going through a great time, and that just got me through. And then fast forward now, I think there's 150 members in the group, and you can turn up on a walk and there'll be 5 people you don't know. And that's great, because you might gravitate towards who you do know or who you don't know. Everyone's welcome. And literally, that's Mark's philosophy. Like, you're all welcome to come and join. Sign up, 2 walks for free. It happens 3 times a week. And that's where, when in Christmas times, people struggle for lots of different reasons. And, mental health is nothing to take for granted, because when you lose it, it's very hard to gain it back. But my advice, book on a walk. You don't realise how it can sometimes just change your life.
Honestly, I had Paul Scholes on a podcast the other week. He's 40, I think he's 49, coming up to 50. He's got a 20-year-old autistic son. And Gary Neville asked him on the podcast why he quit punditry. And he's like, I was travelling up and down the country, and I knew that my son was there and he needed looking after. He was 21. He said, my son is like, he doesn't know what day it is. He doesn't know what time it is. But he knows what day it is based on what we're doing. So like on a Thursday, we're going to get pizza. And he knows that it's Thursday because it's pizza. And then on a Friday, we'll go swimming. And he knows that it's Friday because it's swimming. But he wouldn't be able to tell you that it's Friday. So he talked about all this stuff anyway. And he could tell he was a bit uncomfortable. And Paul Scholes was quite a reserved guy anyway. And it went completely viral, this thing. And a week later, he was on his podcast with Paddy McGuinness, and he was talking about it, and he was like, I can't believe the amount of positive messages I've had just off divulging that maybe 1-minute clip of me talking about it. And he was like, look, I'm coming up to 50, and he started to wonder about, when I'm not around anymore, what's going to happen to my kids and this and that. Are they going to be all right and everything? And he said the amount of positive messages I've got just by speaking about it. I had no negative messages at all. And it just, you don't realise how much it can positively impact someone just to get out there and speak to someone. And communities do that. But it's funny, because I got into moving slightly differently, because I had no network. So I had no network of people. I had this big idea that I wanted to do, but I had no network. And I was scouting LinkedIn and stuff and trying to get involved in groups and stuff. And in COVID, I seen Mark, but at the time Mark didn't do all the interviews and stuff. He literally just went on a walk every night and just talked to his phone. That was his whole content. And he was actually quite unapproachable in a way. He was actually quite and we laugh and joke about this now. And Andrea, I spoke to Andrea about this, and it was probably about 3 or 4 months where I was like, I don't know whether to get on the online group, or I don't know, I just didn't really, I didn't really know what to take him. He's like one of my best mates now, after all these like years. And then he softened a bit, and because he was quite military style back then, he was like, discipline, get up.
I think he still can be, still is. We're in the right places where he needs to be.
In his like, at his core, that's what he is.
I'd say one of his better qualities with the discipline, he's really good at living that himself, but he also has a lot of empathy for people who don't necessarily live it. He'll guide you and tell you, but he also understands because I spoke to him about this. Spoke to him about this last year. How do you guide someone when you know what would really help and benefit the life when they don't want to listen? And he's like, you just got to take them at their level and go where that level's at. He spoke a little bit about that to me.
He's good.
And yeah, I think just that the community space is just really good. And, you say a lot there about discipline, routine, structure. I think that helps everyone, even adults now. I know a lot 100%. Of adults that would benefit from a lot more discipline 100%. And working with a calendar, putting all the work hours in and whatnot. And I think, I know you say there, like Paul Scholes' son needs some extra help, but I'm like, that was me when I was, much younger, say I was 10. I didn't know what day of the week it was. I was wondering when I was getting fed.
Yeah.
I didn't, I lived a very chaotic life growing up.
Do you think that gave you that ruthless ambition to be successful?
Yeah, I was always a whatever it takes. I didn't mind. I was like, the mentality I had was, if they won't make me the manager at the bank, this is literally when I was really young, if they won't make me the manager at the bank after I've been to get a degree and all these things, I'll go and get 3 degrees, then surely I'm better than the next person and I'll get the job and I'll learn in the process. Yeah. But I think, I used to have this imposter syndrome, and I used to have a sob story as well. And I've ditched the sob story because I've realised now it's given me some superpowers that most people don't have. Yeah. So I used to say to people, when you went into school, how many times did you have to explain to your friends why the windows on your house were smashed? And most people are like, well, never. And I was like, okay, I had to do that a lot because I had a lot of abusive stepdads and things like that. They're not a great home life. That was normal for me. The embarrassment, the shame, the stuff that comes with it. But it made me, being hyper aware or hyper vigilant and not necessarily the best things, but they are a superpower if they're used right. And I used them right to spot opportunities in business rather than spot threats and whatever. I spot opportunities in business. I spot good conversations. I spot good people in advance. And there's a lot of people over the years where not many, a handful I've spotted. I don't think that person's got good intentions. Yeah. It always comes to light eventually. I just usually spotted it much earlier. 100%. And, again, I've ditched the sob story. I've realised now it's given me superpowers. It's given me an insight into the world that most people don't have. And I just leverage that for good in the communities, in the spaces, and helping people around me to live my values. We always want to push our own values, don't we? But I like to do exactly what I say I'm going to do. I always like to add more fun, and I can't even remember the third one now, to be honest. Can't remember my third value, but I've only got 3 values and I live by them. They're the bit that shape me every day.
Well, ours are personal ownership. Just take ownership of every situation. Like the one I've had to do this week with the corrupted file. Meaningful relationships and big ideas.
Yeah.
We love big ideas. And that the 4th one of going next mile. We love going next mile.
Yeah, that little bit, just over-delivering a little bit,
that little cream on the cake, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I think you speak a lot about big ideas. And I probably, I enjoy my life. I have a good life. People always say to me, what's next for solo? What's going on with this? And I'm like, there's some tweaks we can make, and we can ramp up what we're selling and whatnot and all do well out of it. But I do think about big ideas. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll get to the big ideas, because I've got a really good life.
I mean, the thing with big ideas for me is it's why are some ideas so successful and others aren't? And no matter what background you're from, and I learned this in jiu-jitsu actually, you walk on that jiu-jitsu mat, and you might have a millionaire, you might have a policeman, you might have someone from the care system, you might have someone who's been in an abusive home when you're young, you might have army vets. Whatever walk of life, they meet on that mat and it's all equal. And some big ideas, no matter what background you're from, are successful. Some just aren't. And I got this idea, ironically, that everyone has a big idea. Because I was speaking to so many people in jiu-jitsu, and all of them have big ideas. I was like, well, why are some people doing it and some people aren't? And in my head, it was like, if I can create a platform where these big ideas can get eyes on them, maybe people will believe a little bit more that they can do it.
Yeah.
And usually it's not like sort of massive stuff that's stopping them. It's usually a bit of self-doubt, or it might be they don't know where to turn for like financial help, or they might not. They might be stuck in a 9 to 5 and they've got a kid and they need the money to survive the kid. So it's not stuff that can't be overturned. It's just stuff that's like limiting beliefs in the head of like, I've got this idea, but I can't really do it.
Yeah, it's the people, but maybe they can't do it though, and it doesn't mean it can't be done.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want to push people. You know, if someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna leave my job and I'm gonna do this and open one of these and whatever," I'm like, "Yeah, that'll work." But what if the person's not capable of it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you got to be careful not to push people too much on the journey. And again, I learned this at Everest Base Camp.
Yeah.
If someone's not feeling well, you know, it's not the right time to say, "Come on, let's keep going. You need to get a push on," because like, yeah, they might kill themselves if you do that. Sometimes you got to just let them, you know, I don't know, just listen. Sometimes just listening. What an underrated skill listening is, and just analysing what the person's saying, rather than looking to add your own or your version of what you do or what you would have done. Like, you know, people say, "Oh, that's not what I would have done." It's like, well, I disagree, because if you were me,
of highly effective people, it's like first seek to understand, then to be understood. And when I first read that book, it didn't really land with me, and I was constantly talking at people and not really understanding them and not taking into account their own opinions. And if their opinion didn't align with mine, they were wrong. Not taking into account that I could have been wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's where you should always let people have a get out.
Yeah.
Don't like nail them into, "No, you were a bad person. This is how it was." You know, give them an out that, you know, they'll take, or they'll get too defensive.
Yeah.
And you should always be looking for win-win scenarios.
100%.
How can we both win in this scenario? Because, you know, I hate nothing more now than a win-lose where I'm on the winning end.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to play Connect Four with you now, Steve, because one of us is going to lose, and I don't want to be I don't want to win at someone else's, at the cost of someone else, when I know we can all win.
I know.
And again, back to the communities, everyone just wants everyone to win.
Exactly. Well, one big thing that happened this year was obviously the launch of your new showroom, and I know that you work with Jamie Ray quite closely, and he's got a big community as well. So, I remember back in our formative years, say early 20s, back on the Liverpool clubbing scene, Jamie was the man. I think he had mansion, and was it news bar he had?
The living room was his main, where he learned his craft.
Yeah. So I knew who Jamie was. I didn't know him personally, but I knew who he was at that time, because he was like kind of running a few well-known clubs and stuff. And then he went off to Tenerife. And I always remember a story you told me, actually. I think it was networking, believe it or not. Where was it you that said that you went to Tenerife and he said to go to this steakhouse, and he basically treated you like royalty?
Yeah, like you. When I mentioned Jamie's name and they realised I was Jamie's friend, like the place just changed.
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, not like, "Oh, we got a little bit better service." More like, no, the people were like, you know, one of the guys in one of the restaurants, the sushi restaurant, was telling me that, you know, Jamie was like a father figure to him, and he was really sad when he left because it felt like he was losing his dad. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a strong opinion to have on someone.
Yeah.
And then one of the next restaurants we went in, the guy had to come over and apologise. He said, I'm really sorry. I'm just really, really nervous now that I've learned that you're one of Jamie's friends. And like, he was mid bottle of wine, he changed the wine cooler. Like, no one ever changes wine coolers at restaurants. And he was like, just every little detail, just to make sure everything was right. But it wasn't out of like trying to perform. It was out of respect.
Yeah.
And there was something in that where I was like, okay, this guy didn't just enforce a standard. He was super respected by, you know, I think Jamie had 80 managers working underneath him and 300 odd staff members underneath that.
Quality.
And the way they spoke about him, but he, again, back to leading with heart, Jamie cares. Yeah. Jamie actually, like, he's like, okay, you can just show you care. That'll do half the job. Or you can actually just care, and you'll get where you need to go with all your staff, your friends, everyone. Why don't you actually care? And maybe that's just 5 years of me working with Jamie. I've learned how to care more.
Yeah, that's mentorship 101, isn't it? Like I've got the similar situation with Mark. Like some of Mark's traits have really rubbed off on me. Like the standard I hold our business to now is because of that mentorship. But that launch party, like, how big a role did that mentorship with Jamie play in the whole development of it and the launch of it?
Well, I think he didn't necessarily have like the biggest hand in the actual party itself, but more my foundations of I've got a daily tracker. Literally, it's a load of tick boxes that are ticked that he created for me. I shape my life around that. It keeps me in check, lets me handle difficult things. Jamie's just always looking to add. He'll always add that little wow factor, as he likes to add. He's really good with that. We could have done even more, but I was like, no, this is good. And that's why, to be honest, that was so successful. I want to have another one, probably in April, for the communities. I want them all working together because, I appreciate all them spaces. Can't go without mentioning Adventure Code and that community as well. The hike up mountains took me to Mount Everest Base Camp and again brought me closer to different people, taught me different lessons.
Watching, I've already asked you to come on the podcast. You're the first one for the 2026 coming in.
There you go. A good guy. So I initially met Tom when I'd done a breathwork course, and I didn't really realise that it sounds like all woo-woo stuff at first. If you're not into breathwork, you'll think it's all woo-woo me talking about this, but how much just taking the breaths can actually clear your mind and help you focus. And then funnily enough, I'm at Everest Base Camp with Tom talking about breathwork, and I'm like, this is some journey, this. That's really good. And I teach my little lad it now when he's on the football pitch, using his breath, calming down. Don't take the corner, just take a second, slow down, think about what you want to do. You see, it's nice then when you see the positive football examples. There's videos of Cristiano Ronaldo before his free kicks, and he's talking to himself, taking his breaths. And I'm like, that success leaves clues. Look for them, and look. Be careful where you're looking at them. The shape your Instagram feed around what you want to be, what you want to see. If you're going to go into January thinking I'm going to eat cleaner, I'm going to get in the gym more to reset, and you're going to start looking at desserts all day on your phone, I'm telling you now, you're going to fail. So just have a little check in the people you're surrounding yourself with. And again, I just can't help that I just gravitate back to the communities, back to a certain group of friends of mine, and back to just good positive spaces.
That's actually called the buffet effect.
Is it?
So the buffet effect, imagine having a buffet in front of you. What do you do with a buffet?
Just eat whatever.
You stack your plate with whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like literally a buffet place. Would it be fair to say that a buffet place would never pick that for like an evening meal, because it's literally you'd have like curry, sausage rolls, pizza, like everything's just crammed onto a plate.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
You just dipping your quiche into your curry or whatever it is. I don't know.
The reason why you do that is because you've got so much choice. It's like at Christmas, we're at Christmas time now, like you stack your fridge up and you're probably going to eat more because there's just so much choice in your fridge, and you probably have just a little bit more than what you usually have in your fridge.
I think there's a lot of people there, though, again, in business that are, like I said earlier on, not focusing for long enough on one thing.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine told me many, many years ago, we always used to grow up, didn't we, thinking like ambitiously, and we think outside the box. That was a saying that people would often say, meant to make you think bigger and all this. I disagree. Yeah. Stay in your own box and look in the corners. Yeah. People say to me, have you ever thought about car leasing? Have you ever thought about car insurance? And, those markets make loads of money. We could earn loads of money in them things. They're not my bag. I sell cars. We sell them on finance. We're sticking to that. And we know what the picture looks like by doing that.
I love it.
I don't doubt that, at some point alongside that, I might say, okay, we now sell houses and with mortgages and whatever else. Maybe that's a possibility, but
solo property coming into play.
Possibly, there's a big idea that's there.
This is the thing, right? So, like, I completely agree with you. Completely agree. And I've had this debate with loads of people of like, should you have multiple streams of income, and should you diversify your portfolio and all this kind of stuff? And I would say yes, but only when you've nailed your main thing.
Yeah.
Like all we do now is content. Jamie Ray taught me this actually. He's like, you just focus on content. Because I was like, yeah, we can do like we can do like everything. We can do events, like go and film events and stuff like that, and do this and that. It's like, no, you just focus on content.
Yeah, stick to what you know.
Yeah. So now all we do is sell content. That's it. And once we've nailed that and got enough money and enough, capital in place to be able to diversify into something else, we might do. Like, I've got this idea to put like stuff into cinemas and stuff like that. Like, it's a bit pie in the sky at the moment, but could become reality at some point. Like having like speakers in cinemas.
Makes
like
sense. Yeah,
public speakers in cinemas, but having like things on the big screen and stuff, like having it proper IMAX style. But like, nail your main thing. Yeah, you're completely right. Think inside your box, and look in the corners, and then get a mentor to look at the box.
Yeah,
and to say, right, okay, this is what needs doing.
Yeah, there's something to be said. Like, we'll all know that. Like, I think you get better results in the gym if you work with a PT. Yeah. It's just the fact, because they're they're correcting your form, making sure you're increasing your weight.
Also,
the plan.
paying for it.
Yeah, a bit of accountability. But that's the same with I'm not even going to say just a business. It's the same with life. Like having some sort of life coach or business coach, someone in a position like, a mentor position, someone who's a bit, generally they'll be older, would have been through it. They would have been through a bit of life as well, a little bit of hardship, a little bit of success, and it would have balanced them somewhere so they can look objectively from the outside. And I think there's value in everyone having that. I think everyone should have an hour at least once a month where someone looks at the life. And so the things I said I've done there, the skydiving, the marathons and all that. Talk about I went scuba diving in 2015, I think it was, in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
Love it.
Amazing experience, wasn't it? No, absolutely not. It was horrific. I had a panic attack going into the water.
So did I.
Because I was like...
Do you know what? So did I.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I was like, what? You tie weights round us and put us in the water? That sounds like a horrific idea, and I can't go... You press the button for me to go up and down. I can't press it. There's absolutely no chance. So not only did I have a panic attack, the two people then that were meant to do it after me followed that mindset and also had panic attacks, and the three of us didn't do it.
Oh, mate.
So I planted the seed, and I was like, cemented that in my head. Yeah. I'll never ever do that again, scuba dive. And then little me, many years later, COVID confidence. That's it. I'm going to lead with that. That's a new thing. And I've not coined that term before. COVID confidence. I'm like, right, let's go. I'm going to scuba dive, and do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sign up for it. I'm going to worry about that today. That's tomorrow Jay's problem. So just sign up for it, and he's going to have to worry about that, not me, because I know I'm just doing what the logical thing is in that moment. It was backed by my mind, PT. Yeah. But he said to me along the journey, I was terrified. I was just going to go and be terrified and just do it. Yeah. And he was like, why don't you just go to like the swimming baths down the road, the one in Speke? They do some scuba diving there. Just go and do it in the shallow end. You might get comfortable, and listen to this. You might enjoy the one in Dubai. And I was like, I'll try it. So I've done it twice. Got perfect at it. Got all the confidence. Went to Dubai in the mall, swimming with sharks. I had there's a video on my Instagram. Biggest sharks you can imagine, like that close to me. Yeah. The biggest teeth, everything, like just, and I enjoyed it. I was like, what an experience that was. Backed by some accountability and someone that just shaped from the outside how I can better enjoy an experience in my life. Yeah. And we definitely own. I need more of that. I wish I had someone with me 24/7, to be honest.
That's resonating hard with me, that,
Is it the scuba diving bit?
Yeah.
Go on, tell us.
So basically we boated out to the Great Barrier Reef. It's about an hour journey, innit? Yeah. It's like, it's not close to anywhere really. It's like literally in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Like, you can't see any land around you or anything. And you get three options. You can either scuba dive, you can snorkel, or you can go in a helicopter over it. So I was like, right, I'm gonna snorkel. So it wasn't scuba diving, but it was snorkeling. So you get off there, and and the marine biologist was like, are you a good swimmer? And I was like, yeah. Here you go, me. I'm like, yeah. Never done any ocean swimming before. So everyone's like got the life jackets on. I didn't put a life jacket on because I'm big and hard and all that. So get in, and I must have swam about 10 foot out from the boat, and the waves were like this, and I was like like fucking gasping for air. Swam back. He was like, you need a life jacket, don't you? I was like, yeah. There you go, just completely checked straight away. Ocean just humbled me. Put the life jacket on, the snorkel on, and I was like, back out there, and I was like putting my head in, and they were like, "You're not allowed to touch like the coral and stuff because it's like a national park or whatever."
Yeah.
And it was like that close to me, and I was like, I was like panicking, and then it was like I'd done a little bit of it, but it was just a completely unenjoyable experience because, like,
just too much to think about.
Yeah,
Not confident in those waters, literally.
So in the end, I swam back to the boat, and I was like sitting on the side of the boat, just looking at it, going, "Oh yeah, that's nice, that's nice." But since then, I was like, right, I just need, like, you know, every time you feel a little bit fearful or panicked or whatever, like you say, take a breath. Everything's fine. Nothing bad's going to happen. And yeah, I completely resonated with what you just said there.
Yeah, and that's where, can we lean into fear? Can we use the tools around us to guide us through it? Sometimes the fear, you know, you want to avoid certain fears.
There's 5 major fears.
Is that, go on.
5 major human fears. It's called a feararchy. This is going quite woo. I think 3 of them are like primal, so like, you know, like you don't want to get by a lion or something, or, you know, you run away if you're in danger, or this fight or flight. So if someone comes up and punches you in the face, then you have like a reaction. But there's 5 fears, so one's like getting attacked, one's getting like dismembered by an animal or something. But there's 2 that always stick out to me. One of them being fear of judgments, so you don't want to get judged by other people. And that's like shame, embarrassment, fear. And then the other one is not living up to your own, fear of not living up to your own expectations. So it's like, well, this car salesman's doing it really good, and he's smashing it. Why aren't I doing £1 million sales and this and that? And you see this on social media all the time. Well, this person's getting 1 million views on his content. Why aren't I getting 1 million views on my content? You know, I'm not going to post the content because I'm not getting 1 million views, and I don't want to look like stupid compared to this thing. So I always think about them 2 things, because like, no matter what it is in your life, whether it's a fucking like a business endeavor, or going into a meeting that you're slightly nervous about, or going for an interview, it's always comes down to like them 2 fears. It's like,
but I just think though with them, I'm just thinking of my attitude with them. And I've been there in times where I'm not sure, oh, should I be in this room? I still think that, but in a funny way. I don't know, you've just got to realise it's your journey. I think we're always so easy to compare to others. Like, I can look and go, I would love nothing more to have a full head of hair and I can wear it like Jack Grealish. I would absolutely love that. Yeah. But I can't,
just rock out like Grealish.
Yeah, so instead, maybe I'll just grow a beard and try and look like Jason Statham.
Jack Grealish got the best calves in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, my little lad's would rival Jack Grealish, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, crazy. But it's that comparison thing, and I've got, you know, hopefully the people that listen to this will be the same people that are a talk of mine that I'll be doing at some point about the chessboard of life, it's called. I'm not going to tell you anymore because I don't want to reveal it. But it's called the chessboard of life. And I don't know, we're also looking at, like, you know, as I say, why has he got a full head of hair and I haven't? It's like, well, I don't care. That's just his life. He's living his life. Just do the best you can do with what you've got. And I'm like, you know, if someone was to criticise me, I'm like, okay, you want to criticise me? You come and wear these shoes, and I would absolutely love to see you handle it better 100%. Because I know it's not possible, or I would have done it already. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think
you can't do what I do. Like, you know, it's fucking hard work.
I would love absolutely anyone to come and try it, and to go through, you know, to talk about having the business, the friendships, a son, trying to look like an athlete, a divorce. You try and handle all them, and I'm telling you now, 99 out of 100 people will crumble, and I've been close to that. So,
well, divorce, moving house, running a business, like I think it is statistically the 3 most stressful things you can go to.
Yeah, so try and add your friends in, your kid in. I know. Yeah, all them are the bits of life, and I'm telling you now, that's a hard time. That, and again, maybe silver lining to that, I'm just cut out to deal with even more difficult things then, aren't I? And at the end of the day, I can only do what I can do. I've got like 10 pinned emails in my inbox now that could all do with action today, but I can only do with whatever I can do today.
That's what I've learned is, like, you don't want an easy life. Problems will arise. Just how you deal with them.
Yeah.
By going through hard stuff, you'll do that. 2026, talk to me. What are we going to squeeze out of life in 2026?
What are we going to squeeze out of life? I think Certainly the biggest area of growth is definitely the social media stuff. It's got massive legs, and I can see from, when, those who, whether those who follow what I do, when people reach out, like, say, like, we've seen Still Ryan the other day, those who do or don't know who he is. Yeah, he's a big character. He messaged me the week before saying, Jay, something's changed here, and I can see it, and keep on that. Yeah. And there's other people that are out there that have reached out the same, and just keep amplifying that. And I think, I put petrol in the car the other day, and the woman at the petrol where I'm paying, and she's like, are you that car guy off TikTok? Yeah. And it's like, I get a lot of that anywhere I go out now. Yeah. I'm okay with that because I'm not out that often, so like that's okay. But there's a lot more of that to come. I've got a good strategy of like loads of awards that we're putting ourselves forward for. More Liverpool-based stuff in terms of like content. We want to sell cars to our local communities, looking after people. Yeah. There'll be some experiences in there. Have I got any lined up? Another. We had our launch party at Solo. There's going to be I don't know if we'll call it like a Solo soiree. We'll get all our communities together when the weather turns, probably, and just have a nice time and reflect on what we are. And we want to be that space for people to do that. I'll have another challenge in there, something maybe not Everest Base Camp, but something like that will definitely creep in because I just need them challenges. I don't know, some holidays with my lad. More football. I've recently been going the match. I never normally had a season ticket, and I have now. And I go with my dad, and I'm like, this is good because like there'll be a day where that's not possible, and like I'm looking forward to going this Saturday with him. Just we've never had that kind of like father-son relationship where he comes and puts his arm around me and all that. We've never really had that. We've always been like work colleagues. Yeah. In the last 2 years, we've probably been more father and son. Yeah, I love it. And I love that. And I'm trying to open myself up to that too. And I'm like, I want him to be my dad and I want him to act like my dad. And that's why I'm looking forward to spending time with him in more matches moving forward.
Love it.
I don't really know what else. Hopefully I eat healthier and look like Conor McGregor and whatever else. I don't know.
I love Still Ryan.
Yeah.
I love him. I love that lad. I don't know him personally, but I love the lad because I used to see him at the match.
Yeah.
And that's where he started, right? He was interviewing people outside the game, going up to kids, asking what makes them happy. I love all that stuff. And he got his name based from just doing the street interviews at the match. And we always used to see him, and I was always like, my lad was a bit young at the time, so he didn't go to the match. He's only 2 at the time. He's 5 in January. And I was always like, I'd love Still Ryan to see my little lad, because he'd be fucking made up. So I'm going to put it out there, Still Ryan. Get on the podcast.
Yeah, so do you know Steer, MPK?
MPK?
Media company.
I think I might do, actually.
He was doing...
Do I know him?
You will know. I'll send you his details afterwards. But we were doing an event at Goodison, a charity football match that I played in. Still Ryan played in the same match. And as the same, my little lad was like, I'd like to meet Still Ryan. I thought he'd gone, and Steve knows him and done some filming with him. And Steve went, let me just see what I can sort now. And Ryan has come back in the room, and he's come over and went, excuse me, is your name Alfie? And my lads went, yeah. He went, would you mind if I got a photo with you? And Alfie's like, no, that's fine, it's not a problem. And I was like, he'd like own the narrative differently. Yeah. And I was like, that's nice that he's thought about that. And it probably, I wasn't expecting that. And Ryan's only young.
That's
he's got what Ryan can do moving forward. I mean, even I seen him interviewing Real Madrid players in the dressing room the other day. That's like crazy. And I know,
stuff,
I don't know if you know Will, who I think does some element of managing for him or just his friend or whatever. I've known Will for many years, and I love Will. He's like I love his life with him, his missus, where he goes. He looks after his dad. He manages his dad, who's a comedian, Frankie Allen. And even Will messaged the other day and said, Jay, soon we should have a conversation. I don't even know what he means, but I'm like, I don't know. Will's a big top guy and wants to have a conversation. Even if it's just like, point me in the right direction, my ears are open. Yeah, we spoke about 2 ears, one mouth.
Opportunities.
Yeah, loads of opportunities. I don't know, 2026, I just got a feeling that there's a lot there.
Yeah, there's a lot to be had in 2026.
Yeah.
I feel like, definitely from a personal point of view, this year's been a year of transition. Next year's going to be a year of big growth.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone does have a big idea that they want to talk about, or pick our brains about something, Jay is really approachable. Shoot him a message. I'm really approachable. Shoot me a message. I'll help you out as best I can. Jay will help you out as best he can. If there's anything that we can do to help and point you in the right direction, maybe it's joining the community, maybe it's just getting off the couch and into something, maybe it's starting a side hustle alongside your current job that you need a bit of direction with. Anything you need, our DMs are always open, so don't be shy in coming forward. Jay, thanks so much.
No problem.
Really
Thank you. I think
appreciate
I'd like to just know from everyone what did they like? I'd actually like people to say, oh, just watched your podcast.
Yeah.
I like this bit, or I like that bit. It'd be nice to have that message at least.
Yeah, leave a comment. What I might do is, I might do some follow-up content with Jay. If there is any comments and subject matter that we can kind of dive into a little more deeply, I'd love to sort of like get into that, because I feel like I'm an extrovert. I feel like you're an extrovert. I feel like we're quite deep thinkers, quite big action takers. Yeah. So there's probably some stuff that we can pick out of all your stuff and feedback that we can make content out of and do some good stuff with. So I really appreciate your time. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can do in 2026.
Well, thank you for this opportunity, and I'm super grateful of it. And to be honest, same with all opportunity. Anyone who gives me an opportunity for anything, I'm always so grateful for. I'm just trying to lead with gratitude and
100%.
And just really thankful for what's in front of me.
You can't be, someone said this to me, you can't be angry or stressed and grateful at the same time.
Yep. Try getting sick. I'm telling you now, your gratitude changes.
Yeah. You cannot be stressed and grateful. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. Yeah. You can't be.
I'll always be more grateful.
So actually, gratefulness is for the other person, but also it's for us as well, because it relieves other stuff. That's probably for another podcast. Thanks so much, mate. Appreciate your time. This will be turned around and released on Thursday. So
thank you very much.
Happy days.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, mate.